What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Strength Addicts here on IGTV, IG Live, brought to you courtesy of BlackstoneLabs.com, the holy grail of bodybuilding supplements, and TitanMedicalCenter.com for all your TRT, medical weight loss, and so much more. Guys, it feels so great to be a winner, doesn't it? Blackstone Labs, one nutrition factory, down now to the Elite Eight and up against Redcon. So that's going to be quite a battle, but I am confident that we are going to prevail yet again. Big thank you, of course, Titan Medical as well, our supporting sponsor, and got Glenn in the house and got Christina in here. So we probably will be chatting to ourselves because it's the middle of the afternoon here, but it's going to be a great interview. And if you guys are watching IGTV, be sure to leave a comment and definitely check out all the reels. I just chopped my forehead off. What's up?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I don't know if you can see me okay.
I see you great. I see you great.
Cool.
And you've been very, very supportive of Strength Addicts, and you tag a lot, and I really appreciate that. And you got a killer physique, absolutely killer. So
Thank you. I
definitely,
appreciate that.
definitely. Of course. And I see a lot of physiques. I think like when, mainstream people say, oh, you look really good. You look like, you've built something really interesting or really fantastic. Interesting would be kind of strange. But that's one thing. But, I've seen a lot of physiques and I've done, thousands of interviews over the last 10, 12 years. And you're really on point, really, really on point. So I have like a bunch of questions, and I actually sent you a message I think like 4 minutes before the interview. I'm like, Christina, can you give me like a fun fact? Because I need a fun fact. But before we talk about that, tell me about how you discovered all of this. So like the gym, the supplements, the competing, like take us back.
So I've always been an athlete. That was just instilled in me for a long time. I kind of fell off of, weightlifting and that kind of thing whenever I wasn't getting any kind of medals or anything like that or recognition after high school. So it took me a while to get back into weightlifting just because I wasn't getting anything out of it. And something about bodybuilding just really intrigued me because there was actual recognition for all your hard work. There were medals, there were people encouraging you and giving you feedback. And I really appreciate constructive criticism. That's just something that I actually enjoy as far as that process. And I had a lot of people just tell me and encourage me that I would be good for this. And I didn't believe them for a long time. And just something told me just to try it out. You only live one life. And so I just kind of wanted to go all in just to see what my potential was.
Absolutely. I just thought of this now. You learn something new every day. And I just thought of this now. But, the individual sports, I think, are really important when it comes to recognition. And I think that they're better for the real go-getters than say the team sports, because the team sports, you have to have like every person, doing their best, simultaneously every single time. And so that doesn't often happen, right? But when you have like your MMAs or you've got, boxing or bodybuilding, it's you, yourself, and you. I mean, you've got your coach, you've got your team and all that, but ultimately it's you. Are you going to give it 100%? And if you are, then you reap the accolades, right? So I've never really thought of it that way, but, bodybuilding is like a boxing or an MMA. And so for you, getting the feedback and getting the accolades when you've done a good job, I think is really important.
Yes, exactly. I really appreciate the team sports. I did team sports for a long time. I played basketball. And I ran track as well. But there's something about doing something individually where you say, I put in all this hard work. And not that you always need recognition or you always need a medal or anything like that, but knowing that you progress in your development is huge. It's huge for me. I always strive to try to be better in some kind of way. And so bodybuilding just kind of gives me that foundation and that structure where I can see something and compare it to something else and actually grow from it.
Definitely, definitely. So you compete in the bikini division.
Yes.
That is probably, I would say, the most popular. Wellness Now is going to give it a run for its money. Figure gave it a run for its money, it still does. But bikini, I still think will continue to be the most popular. But, with that comes just insane competition. So,
Yes.
you know, I'm sure that I don't know that your amateur career was super long. It may have been. I don't think it was, but if it was, it was. But I'm sure there must have been at least one or two shows where you maybe didn't get the placing that you wanted. So how did you go about processing? Not a bad placing necessarily, but a placing that was less than what you wanted. How did you go about processing that and moving to the next show?
So, a fun fact about me is that I actually won my pro card in 3 shows.
Mm.
So I first started competing in 2019. I did my first show, did really well, won first place, and that was motivation for me to say, okay, I found something that I'm actually semi decent at. Let me try to see what my potential is from here. So from there, I went to nationals, and my first national show, I got third place in my class, which was not something that I honestly, there were so many good looking physiques there that I didn't even think I was going to place. So third place for me wasn't ideal, but it was really good for me. That was enough for me to motivate myself to go to the next level. And then just 4 days after that national show, I went to North Americans where I won overall and I won my pro card. So that was a really good example for me to actually trust your coach, trust the system. When someone is telling you that you have the physique that they're looking for, like, you have to trust that. As much as I was kind of insecure about my physique and wanting to change and wanting to grow and be better, I also needed to have that confidence in myself that said, you have what it takes. You have to rock it. You have to rock the confidence. So my third show total, which was North Americans, where I had a little bit more confidence in myself, that was where I won overall. So that confidence made a huge difference. But like you said earlier, when it comes to just like the mentality of it all, I always look at shows as a chance for me to reconnect with some of the girls that I follow online, virtually, and to reconnect with my team, because I really love my team that I'm a part of. So it's all about the journey for me. And so that win was just nothing but a plus.
That's so cool. I had a total airhead moment because when I had asked you for a fun fact, or when you said you went pro in 3 shows,
Yes.
and I'm thinking you actually went pro like in 3 different places. But I understand what you're saying now. So you did
Yes.
it in 3 shows. So your amateur career was like
It was
like
about a year long. Yeah.
oh, okay. So actually, so a year long is good because but still 3 shows. I mean, that's very very short. But at the same time, though, I think the third place probably gave you a little bit of I don't want to say a reality check, but just a little bit of a little bit. Third place is an amazing placing. In fact, top 5 for most people, that's like a surefire path to going pro. Top 10 is like validation, but top 3, my gosh, that's the best that a lot of people get to in their whole career. But still, though, third is still humbling because
Yes.
it still gives you a little bit of a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a I guess reality. I don't know how to say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly. I love it when that happens. Like,
Hmm.
I did look at that as a humbling thing, because
No.
there were people there that won first and second that were deserving, and
Hmm.
it did nothing for me but just push me to encourage those people, congratulate them, and know deep down inside that my chance will come.
Hmm.
But my timing is all depending on what's meant to happen. So you kind of have to be understanding of the process and learn to encourage and support those that are winning in their season.
Definitely. But the reality, though, the reality check, so to speak, was that you were on the cutting edge and that you just needed a little bit, and it happened, you turned pro. But I also think that from what you said too, because I'm really liking this interview, Christina, because I'm getting like some insights, like for example, with the individual sport and the, driving yourself. But the other thing too that I'm getting from this is that mentally, you telling yourself, like you building yourself up, you staying focused, that tunnel vision that we often hear about backstage is really important because I mean, you could have the greatest team, and it sounds like you do, and you could have the best coaches, it sounds like you do, but ultimately, it's a sport of one, because when you're waiting for the expediter to call you on stage, there's nobody there but you. So you're alone in your thoughts, and thank God for you that those are positive thoughts.
Yes, exactly. You have to stay positive. And I will be the first one to say that it's not always positive in your head. I'll be honest and say that whenever you're backstage, you do have some fear and knowing that, okay, I might not be the best, or I might not, look the way I felt like I should look today, or maybe I didn't put in all the effort. But at the end of the day, you have to be proud of your physique. You have to be proud of yourself because you did put in work. And regardless of placing, it's all about the journey to get there. We all have different stories. We all have different ways that we got to the stage. So we have to be encouraging and supportive of that. And my biggest thing that I love about competing is just the virtual family that you build. That has been the biggest thing for me, because I come from a place where I didn't compete before, and I didn't have the sisterhood that I have now within my team, and I didn't have the friendships that I built through this journey. So if anything, it's been such a good reminder of how we all live in different places all around the world, but we're all connected, and it really does feel like a family of support.
So Christina, you got to tell me, what's the name of the team and what's it mean to you to be a part of the team?
Okay, I'm a part of Fit Body Fusion, and my coach is Angela White, and I have been with her since 2019 when I first started, and I've been with her for 2 years now. She's amazing. My team is all amazing. We are all connected online through Instagram, and we'll message each other, encourage each other. Anytime someone posts a picture or makes a caption or story, we all kind of chime in. It's been so encouraging, and I was getting encouragement from the beginning, from the get-go. So going to these shows and meeting these people in real life was just so mind-blowing for me. Meeting my coach for the first time in real life was so emotional. Like little things like that just make you feel connected and loved and really supported. That makes a huge difference for me. So now these girls that I've virtually been communicating with all over the United States, when I see them in person, it feels like, we're here, like we're best friends. So it's pretty cool.
That is very cool. It is very cool. I'm a big believer in family. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I love, it shows, I think teams sometimes, for folks that are not involved in teams or maybe had a bad experience in teams, I don't think really understand, but like when you're backstage, that can be pretty daunting, especially if you're a new competitor or even if you're a seasoned competitor, but you know no one. Sometimes you might want to, even the judges will tell you this. They'll say, go out and get in front of a different panel, see what other judges are looking for, because that's the thing. A lot of folks like to compete in their hometown and they never compete anywhere else but there. But it's sometimes good to get in front of new coaches and such. But if you don't know anyone backstage, it could be a little tough, and it could be a little hard to make friends, because that quickly. So to have like a team that you really gel with and you meet them in person, the meeting in person is awesome, right? But like, you've already like sort of met them online by supporting each other, talking to each other, being there for each other. But then when you meet in person, that's like the icing, the cherry on top,
Yeah, exactly.
So with you, you don't have to say where you work, but like I noticed on your Instagram, like you have a real job, like you have a very demanding job. So how do you time management is huge, right? So yes. I hate saying right. I hate that. Lawyers do that all the time and I hate it because it's like I'm constantly asking questions. But how do you manage your time? Because you have the same amount of hours in a day that I do, but mm-hmm. you're a professional athlete and you're competing on the national stage and now the pro stage. So how do you make it all work?
So I'm a respiratory therapist, and I am blessed to work 3 days a week. So I will say that first thing. So 3 days a week is actually really doable. They are 12-hour shifts. They're long shifts, but I make it work. I'll wake up at 4:30 in the morning before I have to be at work at 7, and I will knock out my workout, be done with that, go to work, come home, and then I do my cardio, and then I repeat it. So I'll only do that for 3 days, and then those other 4 days that I have off, I'm able to meal prep, clean, go to the gym, do what I have to do. I'm very involved with my gym. Like I do a lot of product. I help with their products. I help with modeling for new releases for Better Bodies at Destination Dallas. So I do a lot there too. So it does give me time to actually be available for those things and to multitask. And I'm also studying on the side too for my personal training certification. So I'm trying to get a little bit of everything done at once and actually be more productive. So that's what I'm up to.
That's awesome. But for as much as you're doing, it doesn't at least come off as if you're, spread too thin. It sounds like you're doing everything like, in its place and putting it in its priority. And I think that's great. And I think also the fact that you wake up at 4:30, I've been noticing this, and I like to use my hands a lot in Spanish, but I've been noticing that a lot of people that wake up really early, like Mike O'Hearn wakes up at, I think, 3 a.m. to get to the gym at 4 a.m. And it's like a lot of times people don't understand like why it is that you do that. They're like they think only of the shock value. Oh my gosh, you're up before the bakers are. But the reality is if you're up at that time, it allows you to do all the things that folks that do the 9 to 5 routine can't.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's something, people that bodybuild or that are in this industry, we really appreciate structure. There's something to be said for waking up early and getting things done, drinking your water on time, eating your food on time. Doing those things is very a productive feeling for people like us that are in this industry. And so to me, it's not a hassle to wake up early and get those things done. If anything, it's a challenge, and it's something that I don't want to get up at 4:30. I mean, it's nobody really wants to get up that early and get their workout over with. But knowing that I got it done and I did what I was supposed to do is definitely a good feeling at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So is there like a downtime, or is there on your off days? What are your off days like? Are you wanting to go to the gym? I mean, are you do you give yourself breaks, or is it just like all gas, no breaks kind of thing?
So the good thing is I love the gym. I love the people at my gym. I love the family that's there. And so on my off days where I'm supposed to rest, it is actually very hard for me to rest. I love going to the gym so much that I'll probably take maybe one rest day a week when I'm supposed to have maybe two.
Right.
But yeah, it's not hard at all for me to rest on just one day, but having 2 days off is a little bit too much. So I will go ahead and go to the gym and go up there and see some friends and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to make a little joke, but I also, yeah, but aside from the joke, I do want to talk about it just for a second, just for a split second, because a lot of people probably wouldn't talk about it, but I want to talk about it just because it's the first thing on your Instagram profile. But I was going to say, even God took a day off, you know what I mean? So you should take one too. But I noticed on your Instagram, you put God first. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's really important. I think a lot of people maybe want to hear a little bit about that. And I know that people don't like to ask that question because they're like, oh, don't talk about religion. But I want to ask you because you do have it on your Instagram, and it is at the very top. And I do think it's a really cool thing that you put there.
Yes, so I put that there because I am a Christian. I love God. He has blessed me in so many ways. So everything I do, I am blessed and I appreciate where I have come from. A lot of people that know me personally, they know my story. I won't get into all the details, but it hasn't always been easy for me. And so for me to go back and remember where I came from or what started everything or why I feel so blessed the way I do is because of God. So that's why I put that up there. And I hope to spread some type of positivity when I have that on my profile and for other people to take a step back and just see how blessed we really all are and how we are physically healthy, mentally healthy, those kind of things. So I definitely hope that me putting that out there is something that people can appreciate too.
No, I think it's a beautiful thing, and that's exactly the word I would use. The adjective I would use is a beautiful thing, and I think that your whole uh, your whole approach, your whole outlook has resonated throughout this whole interview, from using words like sisterhood and family and building people up backstage and putting God first on your profile. Everything ties in to who I think you are, and that's you're an awesome person. And
Thank
I think
you.
that's, yeah, of course, yeah, and I think that's really important. And I think Instagram and social media play a very, very fundamental role, a very important role, because you don't know what people are going through. Like just a few days ago, I had Melanie Maldonado on here, and she was talking about mental health and suicide prevention, domestic violence, and so many things. And Instagram, like a story or a post, might really be what keeps somebody together. They might literally be on the verge of a breakdown, but they might see you or me or something on Instagram, and that might just be the glue that keeps them together one more day. And that's pretty powerful, I think.
Exactly. And I think that, I mean, you probably seen it, but we see so much negativity in the world, especially virtually. We see a lot of bullying. We see a lot of just virtual hate. And so it's extremely important for us to spread positivity and to spread encouragement and support. I haven't received as good a support system as I have through my my team. My team has been there for me, and they have shown me that you can love someone, you know, unconditionally without even meeting that person. Like you can show that support and that love and that encouragement. And so it really does help me kind of refocus my mind, and like I said earlier, I try to be a better person all around, whether it's with bodybuilding or like my education. I'm trying to grow in that area, but also I want to be a better person, and I want to learn how to encourage people. Whenever you're in a competition state, you constantly try to work on yourself, and you feel like you're comparing yourself to this girl or this girl or that girl, but we still have to remember that that doesn't stop us from encouraging and supporting their goals, and to give them the feedback and the compliments that they desire, because we all have worked hard to get where we are, and the compliment goes a long way.
Most definitely, most definitely. And then that, you know, again, I think that's really powerful. And I hope, other competitors hear what you're saying and they follow that, because in the end, the judges are the ones that decide who wins the show. So there's no reason, to be salty or throw shade or, there's no need for that at all. Not that that would even matter anyways, like you've already done all the work. Once you get to the show, you're there to compete and show off your best physique, and that's it. So I really, again, I've been backstage at a lot of shows, and I really love the fact that you're so positive backstage. That's so important. I really think that's very powerful. So for 2021, fingers crossed that it's nothing like 2020. For 2021, what are your goals, and also for a 5-year plan with everything?
So I'm still pretty new with bodybuilding. I've only been in it for 2 years, but that's another reason why I want to pursue my personal training. Like I just want to kind of grow and learn more about this industry. But for 2021, I definitely want to say, of course, my goal is to go to the Olympia stage and to get qualified for that. But I take one day at a time. I trust my coach. I'm going to be doing 2 shows so far that I have in my head that I'm going to do. And so I'm just going to take one little day at a time and just see where that goes. But 5 years, like my 5-year plan is definitely to try to hit that Olympia stage sometime. I love this industry, and if it's not meant for me to go to the Olympia stage, it's fine. I will still do what I do because I love the support. I love the friendships. I love prep in general. I love challenging myself. With each prep, I've gotten better and better mentally on how to avoid things that kind of set me back before. So every single prep is different, and every single prep is an improvement. So I will definitely in 5 years still continue to do what I'm doing if I'm physically able. And then I will definitely try to improve my off season, which is my biggest struggle.
That's awesome. No, and again, for what it's worth, I've done many interviews and covered many shows. Your physique is on point. Your structure is on point. But most importantly, the mindset, really the power of the mind is just, I could go on forever and ever about the power of the mind. But like I said, physique wise, you're there. Structure wise, you're there. So it's and like you said, taking each day, as its own day, little by little, inching ever closer to the goal. That's what it's all about. I have no doubt you're gonna get to the Olympia stage. My only question is, are you gonna win the Olympia? But I have no doubt you're gonna get to the Olympia. There's no doubt about that at all. So
Thank you. I really appreciate your support. It really means a lot.
no, definitely. And I appreciate you tagging Strength Addicts. And, I try to tell people, like, again, like we were talking about just a second ago about how, a post or a story might be the glue that keeps someone together just one more day. Well, a lot of times it's a repost too. So thank you so much for, tagging Strength Addicts. And that's why I love, reposting as much as I do. And I think the stories are so important, last thing I'll say, but covering shows, I'm friends with all the pros, Sean Roden and Willie Winkler and of course, Brandon Curry. But if I had to pick between interviewing them or interviewing a novice competitor or a regional NPC competitor, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go for the novice and the regional competitor, because everybody goes to the big stars. And you're a big star, you're going to become an even bigger star. But where I'm going at with that is about the, inspiring people, sharing their journeys, like validating. And with them, it's those local folks. And some of those local competitors have such amazing stories. And it's like, it doesn't even matter where they place. The fact that they're there, the fact that they got on stage, that's like the biggest milestone achievement of all. So again, everything you said today with God and positivity and sisterhood, all of that, again, music to my ears and to a lot of people's ears.
That's awesome. That's good to know. I hope that is encouraging for others. And the stage that I am in life, where, like you said, I'm cross between, my amateur life and then my professional life with bodybuilding. I'm at a stage where it's a lot obtainable for people like me that have come from nothing as far as bodybuilding. So I really hope that this encourages somebody, even a girl, guy, whatever. I just hope it encourages them to try to pursue something that they thought they never could, and to know that it is possible. Because I haven't hit the Olympia stage, but I've gotten so much further than I actually thought I could. And this is definitely something that is obtainable for anybody that puts their mind to it.
Absolutely. You're going to get there. There's no question you're going to get there, but are you going to win? That's the question. I think you just might. The ink on your pro card isn't even dry yet. You haven't had it for like a year yet. So you're going to get there. You're going to get there. So, but I want to thank you very, very much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it, especially in the middle of the day. And that's, again, a tribute to you to make it possible, waking up at 4:30 a.m., working your job, being at the gym, and you made it happen. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you too. And I'll keep posting.
Please, I appreciate it. So for IFBB Pro, Christina Heath, this is Christian Duke, strengthaddicts.com. Thanks again.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.